Welcome back to another video with Miss Padel. This week we are writing narratives about spring. So if you read the directions, our first step asks us to use the roll a story sheet to determine our setting, main character, and problem plot. So if we go over to our roll a story sheet, which you can find on Google Classroom, it says roll a single dice 3 separate times. Each number it lands on will determine your topic for the setting, main character, and problem. So I'm going to take a dice, okay, and I'm going to roll it up. And let's say, pretend I got a 1, okay? For my first thing that I would choose then for a 1, it would be the park, right? Because this is saying if I roll a 1 right here, my setting will be the park. Okay, so now that I know my settings of the park, I'm going to go back to my spring story. And for the setting, in this yellow section, I'm going to put a park. Okay, now I need to find out my main character and my plot or problem, okay? So I'm going to go back to roll a story. I'm going to roll my dice again. Let's pretend I got a 3. So I'm going to go under here and I'm going to look for a 3. Here's the 3. For my character, then, it would be a talking frog. Go back to a spring story, and I'm going to write here a talking frog. Now I just need to find out the plot or problem, so I'm going to go back to the roll story. I'm going to roll my dice. Oh, I got a 6 this time. I'm going to look for a 6, which is right here. I'm going to go all the way over to my problem, and it's lost his or her memory. Dun dun dun. So, whoops, I deleted too much. I'm going to erase this yellow part, and I'm going to write lost, and I'm going to say my frog's a boy, so I'm going to say lost his memory. Oh no. Okay, so we've written them down now, and now we have to write about each setting, main character, and plot. So let's first go to my setting. I found out that my setting is a park. It's asking me now to use 2 or more senses to paint a picture of my setting with words that my reader can read and visualize. Senses are things such as what I can see, what I can taste, what I can feel, what I can hear, what I can touch, okay? So I'm going to say, with my vision, I see in the park. In the park, there is a blue swirly slide. Can you visualize that? Next to the slide is a swing set. Then also within the park, I might want to describe how the weather, how that feels. Does it feel hot out? Does it feel cold out? I'm going to say, so I already have in the park, there's a blue swirly slide. Next to the slide is a swing set. It is a great day to be at the park because it feels super hot outside. The sun is beaming down on the children in the park. So now you can see what the park looks like, and now you can feel how it feels at the park. I described how it felt, the weather, and I described the blue swirly slide and the swing set. Okay, so my setting is done. I'm going to go down to my main character now. And my main character is a talking frog. It just says, describe your character. Put some flesh on them. Do they have a special feature or talent that they will use to solve the problem? So realize that the problem is that he lost his memory, okay? So I'm going to say my talking frog's name is Albert. He bumped his head going down the slide and cannot remember his name. So what other features can I describe about my frog? Albert is a green let's do dark green, more specific. It's a dark green frog that has only 3 legs. That's why he fell going down the slide, because he doesn't have all 4 legs and he had trouble going down. So he only has 3 legs. Luckily, Albert has many other frog friends at the park with him. He has many friends. Albert has many friends. I'm putting more flesh on him. I'm giving him some adjectives, some characteristics. He has many friends because he is a nice, caring frog. I described my character. I said he has 3 legs. He's dark green. His name is Albert. He has a bump on his head because he forgot his memory, right? Going down the slide. And he's nice and caring. He has lots of friends. Okay. Now I'm going to describe how the story is going to end. So I've kind of already said he bumped his head on the slide. I might go into more detail explaining that he bumped his head on the slide because he only has 3 legs. And then I'm going to talk about how I'm going to solve that problem. Note at the end it says, we often have all thoughts in our heads. We have to put them on paper for others to read. They can't read our brains. No one can read our minds. So that's why I need you to write down everything that pops up in your head on paper. Okay, so how does this end? Albert is playing with his friends at the park on a hot, sunny day. It's hard for him to go down the slide because he only has 3 legs. As he went down the blue swirly slide, he bumped his head. After he bumped his head, he could not remember his name. Whoops. Okay, so now I described the problem. Now I need to describe how that problem is going to be solved. Albert's friend, Lucy, found him laying in the wood chips. Albert looked dazed and confused. Sorry, Miss Beetle. Made a mistake on our words, but I fixed it. Lucy helped Albert up and started talking to him. Albert could not remember his name. He also could not remember who Lucy was. Luckily, Lucy reminded Albert that they were friends and that his name was Albert. Once Lucy reminded Albert of his name, he remembered, his memory started to come back. Lucy saved Albert's life. I think that's a pretty cute ending, I would say. I think I was able to describe my characters, describe my setting, and describe my problem and how it was solved. Now,